guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for tuning in. If it is your new, thank you so much for coming by, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, like up the video, and also share with a friend. Alright, so today we are going to look at how is it you transfer the measurements of your head or your client's head to the wig block, and also how to adjust the wig cap onto the wig block to suit those measurements. You might not be a wig maker, but you're actually interested in purchasing a wig. You also want these measurements because you want to ensure that you will purchase the correct cap, because it is the wig cap that makes the difference. The wig cap determines whether your wig fits snug or you have bumps and bulges in your wig. So get your tools out. I'll show you exactly what tools you use, and it's some simple steps in order to make a closure wig or to make a frontal wig. So stay tuned guys, and yeah, check it out. Alright guys, so to ensure that you have your correct measurements, whether you are a wig maker or you are planning on purchasing a wig, then there are some measurements that some important measurements that you need to know in order to have the correct wig and to ensure that your wig fits flat and firm on your head, right? So what I want you to do now is pay attention, because you need to actually have a tape measure. This can be purchased at any wholesale, haberdashery, or even the pharmacy. You can get them in here. You actually need it. So if you're a wig maker, then you need to get the measurement of your clients to ensure that the wig fits snug. And if it is you are just purchasing a wig, maybe custom wig or one of those factory made wigs, then you actually need the measurement. If it's even your circumference, to know what size wig you need to purchase. Alright, so let's get into measuring our head. So the first measurement, the first and most important measurement you need is the circumference. Because the person who's going to make the wig, or you as a wig maker, need to know what wig block you need to use. If it's a 21 or a 22-inch wig block, or even a 23, because you have persons with their circumference that is 23. When you get the circumference of your head, it will, or of the client's head, it actually helps you to know if it is you are going to use a small, medium, or a large wig cap. So let's do the first measurement, which is actually the circumference. So you put the inch measure or the tape measure, whatever you call it, around your head, and have this gold piece in the center, and you carry this part around, and you mark it with it. So let's find the gold piece right here. So mine would have actually been a 21.5. So that is a small. So if you're waiting a week for me, then that would have been a small. You also need to get the measurement of the person's head from front to back or front to nape. Down at the back right here at your neck, it is called the nape. So you actually need the measurement from the front to the back. This measurement also will help you not to have any lumps and clumps in your wig, because if you put on the wig and the circumference fits, but the front to back measurement is not accurate, then you'll have lumps and clumps in here, and running your hand through the wig, it will have clumps as well. So you put your tape measure for front to back right at the front, right at the forehead here, and you pull it all the way back, and you feel where the hair stop, where your hairline actually stop at the back, right at your nape. Mine would have been a 13. So from this, you need the circumference and you need front to back. This is most important, especially if you're making a closure wig. You need to know the circumference and you need to know the measurement from the front to the back. Perfect wig will come out when you have those important measurements. Also, if it is you get a closure, or to make, let's say you're making a closure wig for your customer, you need the ear to ear measurement. So you need the measurement from this ear, so come right over this side right here. You need to know your ear to ear measurement once it is a frontal. So you put the tape measure or the inch measure, whatever you call it, right here, and you go over. See it here, so this would have been a 12.5. All right, when you know the measurement of your wig, right? You actually need, this will help you to determine whether you're going to use a small, a medium, or a large cap. If it is, you are making a wig for me and my head size is small. If you have a medium cap or a large cap, you can use that. Because what you'll be able to do is take out the excess space out of the cap in order to ensure that it fits my head size. Further on in the video, you will learn how to take out the space out the wig cap in order to make sure that it fits your client's head perfectly. So yeah, keep on watching. All right, so to ensure that you get your measurement as realistic as possible to the human's measurement, you want to mark out the space 9 inches from the neck to the top of the wig block, and that is where your earline would start. 9 inches. So make sure it's 9 inches from the beginning of the wig block to the top of the wig block, and that would have been that is where your earline would start. So you're going to mark it to ensure you don't miss that part. Make sure you mark it so that you don't miss it. And you can use any wig block, just about any wig block. Just ensure that you mark out the 9 inches to mimic the earline. All right, so now you're going to move your tape measure and you are going to put it from the right at the top there all the way to the back. So you'll see me showing you what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to put the tape measure at the front where I marked out, right? So that would have been the earline. So you're going to mark it out, tape it to the back, go right down to the back. Nobody's front to back measurement is actually 17, but you need to get it as tall as possible. So now we are going to mark all the inches from one go right down. Doing this will help you in getting the front to back or the front to nape measurement of your client, or even yourself if you're making the wig for yourself. So when you have the inches going all the way from the front to the back, this will help you to get the front to back measurement of your client. Also, marking these lines will also help you to draw your guidelines. For those of us who use the machine to sew the wigs, these will help you to get your guidelines into your wig cap. So ensure that your wig cap is thin enough to do, so that when you put it on the wig block, you'll be able to see through it. I'm just putting in the numbers there so that I'll be able to know exactly what falls where and what comes after what. So it's pretty easy. You have persons who actually use the tape measure to do it, while there are persons who actually mark it. You can mark it. Just use something that is bright. I use that pen because that was the first thing that was available to me. But use a marker that you'll be able to see when you put on your wig cap. So I'm just marking right there. And you go all the way down. Remember, the diameter around the head, that is at the circumference. So you need to know your circumference. So this is the band that we're going to use today. So when you have your wig cap, this is a ventilated wig cap. It don't necessarily mean you must have a ventilated wig cap. But what you're going to just need a wig cap. Whatever wig cap that you desire to use as a wig maker, that is what you're going to use to put on the, transfer the measurement of the customer onto the wig block. And remember, your measurement to get the forehead space for your measurement, or to get the correct measurement, you must measure 9 inches from the neck up to the forehead. It must be 9 inches for it to be realistic, or as close as possible to the human's measurement, right? So now we're going to use a ventilated wig cap and we're going to put it onto our wig block to get the measurements. First thing, you need to know what is the circumference of the client. So this wig block is a 22-inch circumference. This wig block is a 22-inch circumference. Remember to check out how is it you measure to get the measurements, or you send, whether you are going to measure to get the measurements, or you are going to give the client instruction on how to measure to give you the measurements, because without measurements you will have lumps and clumps inside the wig and it will not fit flat and firm enough. So this, let's say this customer's head is 22 inches, so you put on your 22-inch, you put on your wig cap onto the 22-inch wig block. Ensure that it is set properly. Alright, so let's say now the other measurement from front to back, you'd have, let's say the customer's measurement is 15. The customer's measurement is 15. You pull the wig cap all the way down to 15. All the way down to 15, and you pin it. Ensure that you do the same for the front. So the circumference, which is going around, the measurement around your head, that is one of the most important measurement that you must have, as well as the front to back. This is another important measurement, because if the front to back is too short, then the wig will not fit, and if the front to back is too long, then you will have lumps and clumps inside the wig. That what you want to do is, especially for a closure wig, the most important measurements are the circumference and the front to back. Those are the most important measurements. What you want to do when you've transferred your measurements to the wig block is you want to stretch the cap to see if there is any extra space in it. Once there's extra space in it, then you need to pin it in order to get rid of those spaces, because those spaces are going to let the wig cap fit big. So when the customer put on the wig, then when you feel the wig, it won't be flat. Different lumps and the hair will be bulging through. So what you want to do is to pin, pull the space. You want to pin it with as much pins as possible. Pin the space. See, there's a lot of space in the wig. You want to pin the space, pull it as far as possible, and pin the space. When you pin the space, then the wig must fit firm. When you pin the space, the wig must fit firm. So you go around the cap to ensure that all the spaces are out. What you are going to do now after you have finished that, you are going to use your needle and thread, and you are going to sew around these areas that you have pinned in order to get the spaces out the cap. So I won't be sewing this wig cap because this is actually a wig. This is not a real measurement, so I won't be sewing this wig cap, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. So what you would do is sew around the area that you have pinned to ensure that the wig cap is sitting flat onto the dome cap. Onto the mannequin head. So you pin the wig cap down, sew around the areas that you've pinned out to ensure that the wig cap is sitting flat onto the mannequin's head. Once it is sitting flat onto the mannequin's head, now it is time to mark your guidelines. So this is what it should look like. And remember, your front to nape, front to nape, this is what you call the nape of the neck. Right down here is the nape of the neck. So from front to nape and the circumference, these are the two most important measurements that a wig maker must get from their customer in order to have a firm fitted wig. Remember, this procedure not only goes for the ventilated wig cap, it can go for the dome cap, which either with the spandex one or the mesh dome cap. It doesn't matter what wig cap you may use, the measurement and the technique remain the same. The measurement and the techniques remain the same. Another thing, ensure that your wig caps are big enough. Ensure that your wig caps are big enough in order to fit the customer's head. If the wig cap is too big, then you can always adjust it. But if the wig cap is too small, then that is where you will have a problem. So if you have a customer and the customer's wig size, head size is small, it is okay if you have a medium cap. What you can do is always pin the areas to take the space out of the wig cap, and you will get the wig cap to fit the customer. But if the cap is small and the customer has a medium head size, then that is where you will have a problem. This cap is the dome mesh cap. This is what you call the dome mesh cap. This is a small. So if this is a small, then this would have fit circumference 20 or 21. This circumference is at 22 inch. So therefore this wig cap couldn't fit. But if you have a medium and you want the person's head size is a small, then you can always use it and you make the adjustments in order to make the wig cap fit the customer. But ensure that you have the wig caps that are big enough in order to fit the customer's measurement. So you don't want to have pure small, and when you look, it cannot transfer the measurements to. You can't transfer the measurements to it because it wouldn't fit the customer. When the stocking cap, when the wig cap is too small, then it simply means that the customer wouldn't have a wig that would fit, and your work would consider trashy. So ensure that you purchase wig caps that can actually fit everybody's size. Or what you want to do is buy small, medium, large. I don't want to send you to do that because you could save more money by buying a large or buying sets of large and medium, and then you can always pin and make your adjustments so that the wig cap can fit the different head size.